me press your call. URL, man, drop the card today, fellas. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll breeze through these right quick, man. Danny Myers versus Dice. Talk to me, Lang.
Well, first and foremost, this is Danny 2-1 clear. Like, I don't even know how you can even go against Danny in this. Yeah, because like what are we going off of? I mean, I think the only thing I remember from Dice this year is in a 3-round capacity is him versus Hansel, which was like a weird battle, you know what I'm saying? So and Danny's actually been having a really good year. I think the only loss I think I had him taking clearly was Saga, and we mentioned Vixen on a previous show, but besides that, he's been killing it this year, you know what I'm saying?
So I had to be the Jack Boy.
And I really like him versus
you motherfuckers lied and told us Jack Boy win that battle respectfully. I had Danny Myers win that battle.
I don't even know who said that silly ass shit, but Jack ain't even bad in the battle. He's not even clean. Like, come on.
Right. Yeah, but I got Danny Myers 2-1 also. What you got? I got Danny Myers 2-1.
Yeah, no, I got Danny 2-1. But my thing is like I think Dice is good. Dice really just don't want to be like take the battle rap route. So it's like I'm done like talking about like the potential of this and that, but like you seen his battle versus Chess, you know what I'm saying? Even points of the Hansel battle, obviously he chokes, but like I think he's got so much. If he did take this route, I think he's got so much potential. And Danny's one of those guys is a good battle producer. You know, people bring good versions of themselves. He could go up there and compete. Like I really think Dice is like that, but he's not as sharp as Danny, obviously. And then on top of that, this is a really good Danny this year. Like Danny been winning battles more times than not. A couple losses, but he mostly been winning. Yeah. So Danny the safe pick, but I actually think this would be a good battle. A lot of people that don't know about Dice, if you don't, this is the one that could put you on. Dice
in the chess battle on Gate to the Garden, right? It was a Gate to the Garden.
One round they did 100K, and I ain't gonna lie, he beat Chess. Like
he did.
but it was a good Chess though. I want to say because I know how I could joke, but like that's a good battle. If you haven't seen Dice versus Chess, it's a good joint.
Welcome back, Lang. Mike P versus Eunice. Real quick, Mike P has said on numerous occasions on this show, on Twitter, on his own channel, he wants to battle Eunice. And I'm glad Mike P, another guy talking about retirement talk and everything like that. And I did say to him also, I would like to see him battle on URL, one last hurrah and everything like this. I like this battle a lot. Mike P, I rock with you and everything, but I'm going Eunice 2-1, man. Gotta go young boy. Even though I'm not sleeping on Mike P, though. Let me make sure I say this. I'm not sleeping on Mike P at all. And I'm going to say this about Mike P. I feel like his peers show him more love than fans do. I've said this on Mike numerous times throughout his career and shit like that. Take that for what it's worth, but I'm going to use Eunice 2-1 edge. Eunice, don't play yourself.
I'm not gonna lie, man. I mean, I think Eunice is a safe bet, just because we haven't really seen a. I like Mike P versus King, but I still feel like I haven't seen a great Mike P in quite some time. But Mike P has a style that could beat Eunice, though. Like if you really think about it, like a person that just raps really well. Like I feel like when one of the things I've seen in the past battle was that like I do feel like Eunice has good pockets, good energy, and great material. But like a person that raps really well, also it just like clowns Eunice or can crack jokes and stuff like that. Someone that is just like very versatile can very well like get the best of Eunice in those type of battles, right? So I think Mike P for sure has a style that could beat Eunice. His ability to angle, his ability to have like these concept rounds. Are really good too. And you mentioned just the motivation. Mike P has been asking for Eunice for quite some time. So I'm not just going into this battle blindly thinking Eunice is just going to get another clear win. I got Eunice 2-1, but I wouldn't be surprised if Mike P wins this battle because I do feel like he has the style to beat Eunice 100%.
Yeah, I got this being a good battle. Out of all these battles, there is a chance it could be the best. I don't know if I'll say that. There's matchups I like a little bit more, and that speaks to how much I like the booking on the card. But I think Mike P and Eunice is a dope matchup, and I think it prevents same way that King just had this test recently. Kind of, I don't mean to parallel it, but obviously with Mike P returning to URL, Mike P. Granted, the departure wasn't exactly on wholesome circumstances, but he is returning. You know what I'm saying? So I think that there's gonna be love in that no matter what. And I think with him, I think Mike could, if Mike does really good in this battle, if he does really, really good, maybe Mike's not retiring. I don't know. Battle rappers a lot, right? And then you stop seeing him get booked as much, and then retiring, and then maybe things go really good, things turn around. But we'll see.
He's right there in Orlando.
And I really like the King battle. I really like the Mike P and King battle. You know what I'm saying? I like this performance. Granted, I didn't win it, but I like this performance in that. And this one, I agree though with what Lang said. he really has a style that could really combat what a Eunice is doing. And I think Eunice is like going to be the immediate favorite for people in this battle. And I think that is like the safe pick. Cause I mean, look at the level that he's been producing at. I don't know. Something's telling me I want to go Mike 2-1 edge, man.
Okay.
And I don't have all the evidence I usually do with recent form and this and that, but I do think this is a matchup that he's been asking for a minute. And I do think when he reaches a top level, like Eunice is a guy that no one thought Pass was going to her franchise. It's when you think Eunice is going to lose that Eunice is the best version of himself. And it's when you think shit is absolutely safe for Eunice that he gets this like incredible version of the battler. Because I can see a world Eunice is really good, but Mike is just great. We'll see. And then Eunice could just go out there and 30 him or 2-1. So a lot of different possibilities. Battle I like. Something's telling me I'm going Mike P2-1 edge.
Eunice, don't let the Space Cadets gas you up. We know you got gassed up against passwords and everything like that. I hope you learn your lesson that a battle like this, you might can kick your ass. Let's be clear.
And I was one of the people that thought for sure he was going to be franchised. Now I'm not. People get mad when we bring these losses up. It's not that I'm just saying like if I have to look at times I have picked the few times that he has lost. What's the pattern that I could see in that? We'll see. But if Eunice win. His year he's got a healthy year, man. Even with the low Supreme loss, and there's a lot of really good work around that. So,
all right, Lang, Miss Hustle versus Lou Castro. Interesting battle.
I'm about to say I really don't have a stance. I don't really have a stance on if I like on the actual battle because I don't like. I know they kind of been shooting at each other a little bit, but I don't really like know if I like or dislike the battle. I'm kind of like indifferent to the battle itself.
Right.
In terms of a winner, I'm gonna go Hustle 2-1.
Me too.
I'm gonna go Hustle 2-1.
Hustle 2-1.
I don't know. I guess I just am not that invested in the battle. That's no disrespect to the two talents. Both of these. I mean,
you sure about
outside
that?
No. Outside of the T-Top battle, I thought Hustle's actually been pretty solid this year. I liked her versus O-Red.
Yeah, but you don't rock with this matchup, man. You don't rock with this.
I just don't care. I think stylistically,
we know, sir. You're talking to two guys that rock.
Here's the thing, though.
I know when he said he ain't even moved when you said the battle. It's just his eyes moved. I'm like, yeah, he don't
rock like that.
No. It's not even the individual battlers. But here's the thing. I'll shoot some bell and say, Hustle 2 times this year had matchups I did not care for that ended up being really good battles. Her and Real Deal and her and O-Red. I did not want them to do a rematch, and I didn't care for her and Real Deal. So I will shoot her some bell and say that she's been making good matchups with the battles I haven't really cared about. And that's a testament to like her just taking her craft seriously. I just stylistically, I just don't. I mean, I guess they're both kind of ultra aggressive, right? Both from New York,
energetic,
whatever. Yeah. But outside of that, man, I'm just not that big on the battle. I got Hustle 2-1 though. And Lou Castro's been good this year. Miss Hustle's been good this year. From a current form standpoint, it kind of makes sense. They both have been pretty solid. Even though like I think in terms of morale, a lot of people would consider this a down year for Hustle, and it's crazy because she just had one of the best performances against Hitman. But ever since like the Danny debacle and then like the T-Top debacle kind of back to back, I do feel like there's a certain perception on her in her year and her work or whatnot. But in terms of the current work herself, outside of the T-Top battle, she's been nothing short than good this year. But I got Miss Hustle 2-1 though. I do got Miss Hustle 2-1.
I like this matchup, to be honest with you. I'm a big, and the reason I'm such a big fan of it has a lot to do with, Miss Hustle is more times than not in good battles even this year. Like Lang's the best, you know what I'm saying? Like at the bad shit with the debacle, gotta write your rhymes. You don't want that in question. That's not good. You know what I'm saying? So there's that. And then the T-Top loss is like one of the biggest bodies of this year, in my opinion. Like she took a real, like, you got to talk about it. But outside of that, these are good battles. So why wouldn't she have one against Lou, who's having his best year in forever? Like Lou Castro is reliable this year, man. This is the best Lou has looked in years, and it's some of the best stuff at times he's ever put it. Yo, smoked Loso this year. early in the year. That was a great performance.
I told also
Him versus Chef Trez, crazy.
Fire battle,
Him versus Tay-Rock. Granted, I don't think he won a round versus
No,
Tay-Rock.
I was in the building for that.
That's a true gentleman's 30. Like, I really think he was fire. You didn't win a round, but he was really, really fire too. So he's doing a lot of things that I like, man. And even him and Danny, like, he lost that battle. So that's why I'm going Hustle 2-1, because he still is kind of losing a battle here or there. I think he's more competitive than he's been in years past. Like, I think it's a respectable level, but he's still prone to that versus some of the top vets. And I think she'll be locked in for this last battle here. So, but I could see Lou 2-1. I think good energy, good matchup. I'm a fan of it.
I don't think it's good if Hustle loses Lou Castro, respectfully. And I don't mean to be insulting. I'm not insulting Lou when I say that.
That's her expectation. She shouldn't be losing. Like, that says more about how high you view her than really do.
Exactly. I'm going to go Hustle 2-1. I know I was in the building when both these guys battled and shit like that. But would it shock me if Lou Castro wins? Not to be honest, no, fellas, it really win. But I'm going to go Hustle, man, 2-1, man. Lang, A-Ward versus Jack Boy Maine.
You know what's crazy? You know what's crazy about this battle? I really like this battle. Like, I really like this battle.
You don't like Lou Castro Hustle?
No, I like. See, here's the thing. Even though I feel like from a competitive standpoint,
yes, sir.
I know Jack is going to curse us out because we don't know battle rap. He's already went on a rampage about us not being battle rap, whatever. Cool. But in terms of like a competitive standpoint, I can understand why people are more invested in Miss Hustle and Lou Castro. But in terms of animosity and genuine just genuine disdain for one another. Yes. I like this
match.
What did A-Ward say when he had to face off against C-Top? He said, "You know what? I'm coming to URL already a star player. Like Jack Boy, who? Like he's the one that's putting stuff in my locker. You know what I'm saying? So like there's still animosity there. Like I never forgot about the Midnight Madness days where Jack Boy was consistently like going at A-Ward saying that, hey,
he told Ward, I'm your arch nemesis. He didn't even let him try to have it. Y'all remember that? Y'all remember, A-Ward can't get on URL till he sees Jack Boy or none.
I remember those conversations.
Yeah, I remember that.
I remember hearing that.
So from that standpoint, and also we know Jack Boy takes a liking to battling Christian battlers. I think that's just his niche thing that he likes to do in terms of just having like this.
I like that point.
Having like this antithesis that he has with Christianity and him being like, the devil or whatever. So I think that he has
going to Lucas and everything like that. Also, he's gonna make blame.
Yeah. So I think that is a good arc there, but. I think that on A-Ward's end, it's like, I'm tired of this guy talking about me. Like who is this guy? You know what I'm saying? So I just love it from an animosity standpoint. And I actually think that this may be one of the best battles on the card, honestly, truthfully. Wow. So I still got A-Ward 2-1 because I feel like A-Ward has been like, even though he's been saying I got other battles outside of Jack Boy, this is one of those times where like the person that's been like kind of calling out someone for a minute finally gets the person, and I feel like it's not going to work out like they imagine. I feel like A-Ward's going to win this battle clearly, just because of just how much he's been probing at A-Ward over the years. And I'm about to say this has been like 3 or 4 years since he's been doing it. So I got A-Ward 2-1, but I wouldn't be surprised if we see a good Jack Boy, considering again, like when he goes against Christian battlers, he usually has like good subject matter and good material. So.
Any concerns, fellas, that A-Ward is battling the night before against Jay the Nightwing and has to fly from Philly to Orlando to battle Jack Boy? Any concerns about that at all?
Yeah, I mean, I think anytime you have to, no, I'm being for real. I think anytime you have to do something like that, it's tough. And especially when you're going to get somebody that really, really, really don't like you, like it's for sure going to be tough. But I'm so confident that A-Ward will put it together. In fact, I feel like A-Ward's had stuff in the tuck for Jack for a little bit of time too. And when you think about it, him and because I think there's going to be a conversation amongst a couple other battles that are going to happen in the short span. But I think that him and Jay being rebooked, he has some stuff for that already. And I would venture to say he probably already has stuff for Jack already too.
So basically, fellas, JSMO, this is a very big weekend for A-Ward. Can we say that? Yeah. Very, very big win for him, especially again, Cody implications conversation also. If he goes 2-0,
right? That's the point I was going to make when I talked about the battle, because I think, Lang, the point you made about Jack Boy and his record against the Horsemen is fantastic. Because I remember, I think we've spoken on that before. You know what I'm saying? And talked. So I was like, oh, if he ever does get the A Ward battle one day, so now he's got it. And then for Ward, and by the way, when I said I'm not worried and I was very nonchalant, do I think it's still difficult, like Lang said? Yes, but I just think that he's got the skill set. Like if there's someone capable of it, like he's like this generation's DNA in a sense. Like it's rebuttals, it's current events. He could just at any moment he could just rap. At any moment, at any given moment, like he could get into a battle. So I'm not worried on him too much prep wise. But for Cody, here's my thing. Let's say he goes out here back-to-back days. Let's say he beats Jay the Nightwing. Other things that he's had the material for Jay, they're gonna switch around, I'm sure, somewhat for Philly. But there's generals, name flips, like certain angles, like there's shit that I think he's gonna rap regardless. So he's probably got a lot of that material, just tweaked it. I don't know if he rewrote. And then with Jack, if he's able to beat Jack in this grudge match, probably gets a good version of Jack Boy, and then beats Jay the Nightwing, another top guy, and Cody, what's stopping someone from arguing the A Ward's champion of the year?
Real talk though.
Not like fun, like, oh, like they're high up in the convo. Like, what's stopping if he pulls that off from saying like he's number one? Like, I think he's actually one of the guys that there's like a pathway to him, like for real winning the shit. And it comes with something like this. Now with Jack Boy, he has struggled with cleanliness even in his bigger battles. I feel like the last few years, like even when he has good material, I thought he was fire the first 2 rounds versus Danny. I still
he was. Jack was fire. He was.
Clean, bro.
He was.
Clean. That was his only thing.
I like that first round a lot, Jack. I ain't gonna hold that.
And look, he stumbled through that, but he still was fire. I ain't even mad at no one if they want whatever. Give Jack the first. But then he's chokes at the end of such a fire second, bro. His second was stupid fire. So, and then even when he battled Tay-Rock, he had a fire first.
Yeah.
He was solid in the second, and then he choked in the third round. So I just don't want this to be, he is someone who I was a fan of him versus Fettuccine 20. They don't, you know what I'm saying? They don't know about the
2016.
Street lights. Honeycomb Highway. Well, Mom said beat the street lights home. Bust them out.
Crazy.
Her bow in the back of his mouth. Like, I've really been a fan of Jack Boy since it was just like getting there, him versus drugs, shit like that. So I really at one point thought he'd be top tier, but I think consistency, especially versus the best names, he'll get a win here and there, but it's just not there repetitively enough. So I hope right here, Grudge, he's done amazing versus the Horseman. I actually, that point, for whatever reason, because I damn near had A Ward just like 2-1, 3-0 clear type of shit. I forgot how good he is with this subject matter, though. So I'm going to go A Ward 2-1. I'm going to go A Ward 2-1 still, because that's just, I do believe he's the better talent. He's in better form right now. But I could see Jack being very, very fire. I could even see it being a close battle for real. I just think that this specific matchup could bring that best version out of him that we haven't seen in a while.
All the three of us going to judge A Ward again because, we were kind of critical of him a little bit. He felt us three were critical of him on his URL debut and shit like that.
I love Ward.
So, three was a little critical, three of us, I got A Ward clear, man.
We said he was good in the battle too. We just said all right.
Yeah.
Bad second. Life happens.
Life happens, man. Next battle, fellas. Lan, talk to me. T-Top versus Kid.
I love this battle.
Drug talk, T-Top.
Yeah, man. I like this. So I got a question. I want to raise a question. We all think that, the past couple of years, right? T-Top, I wouldn't say he abandoned the angler route or angling archetype, but we've seen him be more of a showman, right? Be more of like a person that's just, creating moments and stuff like that, bar for bar and whatnot. Do you guys foresee him kind of tapping back into like that angling bag that he used to get into?
Drug talk.
Nah, I ain't gonna lie. You are out your mind. You don't think he's finna talk about the paperwork?
That's what I'm saying. I feel like out of everybody though, right?
He have a whole. I know that he's like the 8th person to get to it or whatever. T-Top, the way he might do a whole round about it, bro. No, he's the type of guy that could make it hit. I ain't gonna lie. It is far
because I feel like out of all the people that Slade has battled, right? Like there's been people that's been making haymakers out of the subject matter, right? Like look at all the people he's battled that kind of touched on it, right? Shotgun Suge, Tay-Rock, Cortez, the Flair. Who else am I thinking of? Twerk, just this year. You know what I'm saying? So like these people are people that are just known to like are just very entertaining and just known to like create like witty bars about it. But this is like the first time he's actually battling someone that is like a known angler, a person that can really craft around on this particular subject matter. You know what I'm saying? So this is very interesting to me. I actually thought the ship has sailed on this battle. I didn't even think we would return to this battle, but I guess, you know, with Slade having the performance he had against Wusai kind of encouraged him to kind of get back on the roll. And to be fair, I feel like T-Top is taking a dip this year in comparison to last year. So I guess on a status point, it makes sense because like they're kind of meeting in the middle here. Slade is kind of like came out of the ashes after the twerk battle, whereas T-Top is kind of like brought down his level from the previous year. Here's the thing, right? I got T-Top 2-1. But I do feel like this all comes down to execution. Comes down to execution. Because here's the thing. When I rewatch him versus A-Ward, right, I actually think there were concepts that were like really good, but the execution of it is what killed him a little bit. Whether it was dragging out the concept too long, whether it was like a cleanliness or transition between the material and whatnot, or the concepts. I just feel like if he can find a way to like, you know, just fine-tune the concepts and the angle that he has to his disposal, he could clearly win this battle. But here's the thing. If it gets to a point where like he doesn't execute it well, then we're just want to hear good raps at this point. Like if you fail at like really executing the angle, we want to hear raps. And at this point in time, like Kid Slade is a really good rapper. Like like when he gets into his bags and his pockets, he's a really good rapper. And sometimes when T-Top is kind of losing the audience, like he's another person where you can kind of tell like he feeds off of the energy of the audience. Like Kid Slade has went against Kid Slade has went against like fan favorites like Nitty and Twerk and had to like weather the storm and still find a way to rap as he's fighting the crowd. So he's very well tuned in terms of like having to like fight the crowd and get through his stuff. But T-Top, you can tell when like he's not really getting the energy that he wants. So I have T-Top 2-1, but I honestly wouldn't be surprised if Kid Slade wins this battle.
I'm going Slade, man, 2-1, man. I got love for T-Top. I got love for T-Top, and everything you said, I agree with and everything. He was small in the beginning when he said about the angles. Absolutely. He has not, you guys said it best. He has not faced a guy yet who's a dope angler. And like you said, Lang, early in the conversation,
the closest person is Cortez, but even Cortez was like, he only talked about it for like the third round.
But what Smoke said,
he kind of cooked up Cortez.
He did. But what Smoke said,
I can say winning, yeah.
But what Smoke said earlier, though, I do believe T-Top is gonna have a whole round about that, and I think it's gonna be like this in that round. I think it's gonna be like that, fellas.
I'm having no long rounds, man. That's what we killing T-Top. It'll be these 10-minute rounds, bro. I don't really want to hear anyone rap 10 minutes, bro. Like I'm all set to keep it real. Like 10 minutes uncontested. Like come on, man.
He needs to emulate. He needs to emulate what he did against Hustle, because that was one of the few times I was like, "See, this is the T-Top we missed."
He looked like, that looked like 2016, 2018. You know, like that looked like the T-Top that people like consider as peak form.
Fellas, let me ask you a question: should URL have implemented, or maybe these guys implement a rule like how did Swamp and T-Rex did, a 1 round just on drug talk round? Would you guys have like that with these two? Mm-hmm. Some ain't fucking with that.
That's the bad. Because my thing is, they finna rap about it all 3 rounds. Yeah. At some point, every round, there's no question that's going to be like the base subject matter of this battle. But you know, the reason that I'm with you, the reason I'm with you and I got Slade winning the battle is I've been thought like whenever he got this matchup, this would be the one. And I remember when he was after he beat Stumbles and he was still kind of on the arise, I thought they gave him the Tay-Rock joint too early. If anything, I think they should have given him T-Top on volume then. Okay. I think that's the, and I think did T-Top end up battling on that card? He might end up battling on that card. I can't exactly remember, but I remember wanting that matchup after the Stumble shit. I'm like, that's the one that they should get on. So I'm happy they're here, and I'm happy that Slade stock, even after some really poor booking decisions and Nitty and Arizona and Twerk and things like that, I'm glad that he's still here and people still want it, because I think he's going to show out in this battle. And not only do I got him winning 2-1, I think he could win 3-0. I think Kid Slade's gonna super duper be in his bag for this battle. And I think especially when they're talking, especially that drug shit, but just in general, he is the better rapper of the two. Like the rapping, not just before we even get into what he's saying, the way he's putting that shit together, the syllables. I'm a big believer in him as a talent, man. I think he's gonna show out for this one.
Okay.
I don't know about 3-0 though. I don't know about 3, but
it can't happen though.
I'll go 2-1. I said 2-1 could be a 3-0. 2-1 could be a 3-0.
Because I just feel like I think T-Top's also a person that like motivation plays a role. Like I've seen him lose clearly to people that you could tell he wasn't motivated against. I don't feel like Kid Slade is one of those people he's not going to be motivated against. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not mad at you guys having Kid Slade 2-1 though.
Main event: Geechee Gotti versus Chef Trez, and just like the rules apply to A-Ward, this is another brother who got to fly from Philly to go to Orlando to battle Geechee Gotti.
Yeah.
What's up?
I like this battle. I honestly wish that we got this battle earlier in the year. I feel like now it's kind of like on this card. I don't want to say it's a throwaway battle, but like I do feel like this battle would have had a lot more oomph behind it if it wasn't preceding Geechee versus Shotty. But I really do like this battle, and I feel like they both can freestyle, so that's interesting, right? And on top of that, I mean, it's kind of crazy that they haven't battled with how much Geechee has battled over the past like several years. It's crazy they haven't crossed paths.
Right.
I got Trez 2-1, but the thing about Geechee is that like sometimes he just randomly chooses to like just go off. You know what I'm saying? Like there's a couple times this year, like when he battled Fax, whatever, he just randomly decided to just be.
He went crazy against Fax.
I was about to say he just decided to be really good. You know what I'm saying?
And then against Shotty Horace, like bro.
Yeah, and the thing about Trez, he's one of those. He's again another battler that I feel like just gets the best version of his opponents. Right? Sheed was really good against him. Luke Castro was really good against him. And I feel like Geechee kind of knows that he was on some BS in the Shotty battle. And he knows that he kind of has to show up, otherwise he's going to get it's going to be BTA.
You'll get 30 against Chef Trez. He
mess around. Yeah, so I got Trez 2-1, but Geechee can win this battle. And honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if this ends up being battle of the night if Geechee does what he's supposed to do. I wouldn't be. I'm gonna keep it. I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, it has the makings for it. They both can freestyle. They both, when they're both like really, really performing at a high level, they both tend to have like the best battles on the card. So I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, they're top of the card for a reason.
Small man, to you right quick. Small, let me ask you this question, Small. If you're Chef Trez, would you be disappointed if Geechee Gotti gives you that battle where he's going through the motions and shit like that? Like, shouldn't Geechee Gotti have respect enough to know the assignment that Chef Trez is a person that you don't fuck around with at all?
I mean, people do that and then they take away from the fact that Chef Trez might kick his ass. Like, what if he just kick his ass and that's just what it is? Like, Geechee could be half, because sometimes Geechee would be half good.
Yes.
And half bad. Like, versus Fonz, they're about literally 60% of that battle, he fire. 40%, he's just not. And then that makes you question, does that say more about his importance or taking it serious? Or some days, do they try to go make it happen? The shit don't happen. Because that's what gets lost in the blend. Right. Sometimes the clips will try. Sometimes clips will just lose trying, though. Sometimes the Geechee will try. Sometimes not always his day, So it could be one of those where I do think he'll give Chef Trez more respect than he does most opponents. Do I think you're going to get a Geechee like you did versus an Easy? No. Like it's not. It's just he clearly brings out the 3 rounds of truly. But
like Lang said, though, Small, I want the Fax battle, to go back to the Fax battle, I want to see Geechee in that back even more times.
And if he was in that for the Trez battle, they could fuck around here, have a top 5 battle of the year, because that's
what I'm saying. This could be battle of the night.
Geechee Gotti, one of the best ever, and he did it all fairly recently. Like when he really got great, it wasn't that long. So it's like him at his peak versus the version we watch in prime Chef Trez. You tell me we get anything near like a top level Geechee? Wow, would this not be absolutely incredible? But I could see a world where he has one fire round, one good round, one round he stumbles through. And if he has that, Chef Trez going to win 2-1 in a good battle. I think it'll be a good battle. I don't think it's going to be Geechee just not giving a fuck. But I think it's a good battle that could be a really like a great battle if they both lock all the way.
I just hope Geechee's not having a Christmas check, fellas. That's all I'm happy.
I'm worried about that with him. I'm worried about that with T-Top. Like there's people more people are worried about that.
Christmas check. You know what I'm saying? For real. So across the board, we got Chef Trez because I feel like I got Chef Trez also 2-1 in this battle and everything like that, man.
Yeah, I do. Of course, Geechee could win, but I'm confident in Trez.
Yeah, I got Trez 2-1 as well too, man. I think that's pretty clear.
Pretty clear across the board. All right, fellas, I appreciate y'all, man. You know what I'm saying? We knocked this out real quick and everything like that, and I guess we will talk and spin a block back.
About a week maybe give us a couple of days. We're gonna be back at it again, man.
Love y'all, brothers, man. Appreciate y'all, man. As always, man.
Peace, man.
My guys, man. Shout out my brother JSMO. Shout out my brother MLANG.